The old man sat in his usual corner booth, his hands trembling as he tried to steady a chipped coffee mug. The diner was almost empty that morning. Yet, his presence seemed smaller than ever, as though the weight of the world pressed down on his frail shoulders. Sarah, the waitress who had worked there 4 years, watched him with quiet worry. She knew his routine by heart, the empty pockets, the embarrassed smile, and the whispered, "I'll pay tomorrow." She also knew tomorrow never came. And still every day she slipped him a plate of food, pretending the register had miscounted an order. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening. Sarah had never told anyone why she did it. She just couldn't stand the thought of him going hungry. Something in his tired eyes reminded her of her own grandfather, long gone now, who had once said, "A man's dignity isn't in his wallet, but in how he's treated when he has nothing." And so, she kept feeding him in secret, hoping her kindness mattered in a world that often looked the other way. But that morning felt different. The air was heavy, filled with a tension she couldn't name. The old man seemed distracted, glancing often at the door as if expecting someone or dreading them. Sarah's heart tugged. She thought she'd never see him again. She was wrong. The clock above the counter ticked too loudly. A car's engine roared outside, then another, then 2 more. Within seconds, 4 black SUVs pulled into the gravel lot, their windows tinted, their engines rumbling like thunder. Conversation in the diner died. Coffee cups froze mid-air. The old man closed his eyes and whispered something Sarah couldn't catch. The doors of the SUVs opened in perfect unison. Men in uniform stepped out, their boots striking the pavement with a rhythm that sent chills down Sarah's spine. They weren't ordinary men. Their posture was sharp, their movements disciplined. Soldiers. Veterans, maybe the kind of men who carried both authority and secrets in their silence. Every diner patron stared as they entered, filling the small space with a quiet power. They didn't look at the customers. They didn't look at Sarah. Their eyes went straight to the old man. Sarah's breath caught. Had she been helping a criminal without knowing? Had she been feeding someone dangerous? All this time? The thought stabbed her chest, twisting everything she believed. But then the leader of the group stepped forward, his face lined with both age and respect. And Sarah saw something different in their eyes. Not anger, not accusation, reverence. The old man struggled to his feet. His voice cracked as he said, "I told you not to come, sir." The leader replied, his voice firm yet emotional. "You gave us everything. You don't get to fade away like this." Gasps rippled through the diner. Sarah's hands trembled on the coffee pot. She finally understood. The man she had been feeding wasn't a burden or a forgotten soul. He was someone who had once carried the weight of many, a man whose service had been buried beneath time and silence. The soldiers moved as one, saluting him. Right there in the diner. The air grew thick with stillness, then broke with the sound of people rising to their feet, some clapping softly, others simply bowing their heads. Sarah's eyes stung with tears. She had fed him because he looked hungry. She had no idea she was keeping alive a piece of history, a hero who had chosen humility over recognition. The old man sat back down, overwhelmed, his hands covering his face. And for the first time, Sarah felt her quiet acts of kindness come full circle, because kindness doesn't vanish. It waits and it finds its way back. The sun spilled through the diner windows, landing on the old man's table, as if the world itself had chosen to honor him. And if this story touched your heart, share your thoughts below.